All right, we are on, and the live stream has started already. So we're live and in person. Yeah. So
Hello.
this is very exciting. Can you hear me?
Yes, what?
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
So I haven't launched that publicly,
Okay.
the
Okay.
video.
So we'll yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's for me the trying new things. I guess where I get uncomfortable is the monetizing my trying new things. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny, James. Everything has I was talking to someone yesterday, I can't remember who it was, but when you are an entrepreneur, sometimes it's hard for you to go out there and ask people to buy your service.
Mhm.
Yet you spend the day buying regular services, right?
Right. Yeah.
And but
Yeah.
when it comes to selling yourself, then it's hard.
Yeah.
It's I guess the question to ask is, what's my value? Am I adding value, bringing value to
Right.
people?
Right.
So it's not the how much you're charging, it's how are you serving?
Right. And it's uh, to recognize that what you are offering is valuable.
Let the
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
decide it. If
Yeah.
I am of any value to you, I have memberships. I sign up to some things. I buy
Mhm.
some things. We were talking yesterday about where do you put your money.
Yeah.
Things that are
Yeah.
valuable to you. You will
Yeah.
spend money in them.
Yeah.
So I guess you define your service. You define what you're offering to people, and people need to decide for themselves whether if it's worth their money or not.
But after you define it as being valuable,
No, you don't create the value. The person decide if it's valuable for him or not.
well, you have to
Bring
you have to create the value by saying I expect, let's say, well, money for
No, you
money.
don't create the value. You don't define you say, for example, you're a coach, you have prices.
Mhm.
You think that somebody who is coaching with you for a year has to spend this amount of money. So that's the value you attribute to yourself.
Mhm.
Now the person will decide whether she's buying into that value or not.
Right. Yeah, but what I'm saying is you have to put the price tag on it first.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yes, you decide how much you think how much would you buy for your own services.
Yeah.
If it's $5 or if it's $10,000, how
Yeah.
much would you
Yeah.
spend? Like
Yeah.
I know for example, we spend thousands, hundreds of thousands to coach with Steve Hardison,
Right.
or
Because in our minds that's the value that he provides. The value that he provides is 10 times that.
exactly. So
Yeah.
it's the same for
Yeah.
you. If you help
Yeah.
me fix my life, if you help me, like if you help, for example, one of my children, like what's the value for you? I was
Yeah.
helping a friend asked me actually to help her daughter, and because I was very much connecting with her daughter, and she thought I could very very much help her.
To help
And
her as a coach.
as a coach, yes, she
Uh-huh.
was counseling, but it wasn't working so well. And she's seen that we were doing a lot of progress just by the informal time I was spending with her. And she
Mhm.
said, "How much is your coaching?" And when I told her the price, she's like, "Oh, we don't have that money right now." And I was like, "Okay," but I thought about it, and I am like, if for me, if my son and her daughter doesn't have these kind of problems, but if, for example, my son is suicidal or has a big issue, that's
Mhm.
going to be my priority, and I'll put any money that I have if I
Yeah.
am convinced that that is going to make a difference. So you see,
Yeah.
so it's what
One
am
of the
I
things
gaining?
one
It's
of the
what am
things
I
I was
gaining?
trained to do with that is if somebody comes to you and you quote whatever the price is, and they say, well, that's too much, I don't have that money right now, you can just say, as a matter of fact, what exactly does that mean?
Yes, what does
Yeah.
that mean? I think that's a good question, but I think as well that I don't have that money is very fair. It's fair because usually the coaching budget, we don't have it. We don't have a line. I don't have a line in my,
Right.
no,
That's true. That's true.
it's
I've never.
so so it's fair. It's fair to say I don't have that money. Now
Uh,
it's, is it valuable to you? And then you move money, you make changes. You said, okay, maybe this month I'm not going to,
right.
or
It's
I'm
like if you
canceling.
say I don't have that money, what like I say, what exactly does that mean? Does it mean like literally, factually, you have zero money, or do you have money in account somewhere that you don't touch, or you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Steve Hardison says, go create the money.
Yeah.
Because it's not about creation. I don't have money sitting at the bank. I don't have, I'm not a millionaire, but I do spend money in things that are valuable to me.
Yeah.
I create the money because it's, my return on investment is way higher
Yeah,
than,
this is an ongoing exploration for me, because I think my well, let me just say it a little different. My story around money might be different than your story around money, right?
it's the story
Yeah,
we have
yeah,
around money.
and it is a story.
It's why we're so uncomfortable with money, the fear.
Yeah,
We all have, there is a lot of coach that I follow that teach on money, on the mindset,
yeah,
money mindset.
yeah, yeah.
Why some people can't make money, why some people can't keep money,
Yep.
why some people don't make the most out of their money, why some people are super rich but live as paupers.
Yeah,
So it's all a money mindset,
yeah.
and I think it's great too. I don't consider having a healthy mindset about money, and I am working on,
You
having
do or you don't?
I don't. I
Okay.
can I can do better. I
Well,
can do,
that's something that we can connect on for sure, because I think a lot of people connect on that, because
but
money
I don't want
is
to
such
connect
a.
on that with you because I am doing better and I will keep doing better. You see what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's something that I have identified in the past as a problem, and I know where it comes from,
Hmm.
and I don't want to stay there. So I'm evolving, I'm moving away from it.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
don't want to connect with anybody on that level. I want to connect with, healthy. I want the relationship to money. My relationship to money is getting healthier every day, and that's
Hmm.
what I want it to be.
Hmm.
What I mean? Um,
So what you're saying is you don't want to commiserate.
yeah, maybe that's a good.
Go. What I mean by that is you go and you're both involved in each other's stories to the level of, like Stacey Bayman calls it, jumping into the pool. You're jumping into the pool with each
Nice.
other.
It's gonna keep us there.
Yeah, yeah,
So no,
yeah.
no. I think that's some of the work we do is really seeing a pattern that is negative and move away from it.
Mhm.
But seeing it and say, okay, this is how it is, and that's it.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's where, when I say I am the conscious creator of my life,
Mhm.
I observe my ways, and the ways that are not serving me,
Mhm.
I work to move away from that place
Mhm.
because it's not serving me.
Mhm.
I don't
So I
say,
guess my other question would be, how are you moving away from that? If you're working on that and
it's
you're moving away.
taking the actions.
Uh-huh.
People who have a healthy relationship with money, how they act, how they behave,
Mhm.
and I learn from them.
Mhm.
This is how everything works. For me, it's all about discipleship. It's all about emulating those who inspire you.
Mhm.
So I look at the people who have made money as an entrepreneur. How have they done that?
Mhm.
They were bored to be out and to, make a price tag and offer their services
Yeah.
without a second thought.
Mhm.
So that's what I do.
And without a second thought in terms of.
what will they say? Will they buy
Right,
it?
right.
Maybe I'm too expensive. I don't have those thoughts.
So you're just matter of fact.
Yeah, again, it's about around, it's my question is, how am I serving them? It's not around, I don't think about my price tag. I don't think about the money I ask, honestly. I think about what am I doing for them? The difference I'm making in their life. How am I really, really, really listening to them and helping them? That's where my focus is. And they tell me that the value they got is way more than what they invested, that they would
Right.
invest,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I'll sit with that for a second. Yeah, I would. This was something that we didn't get a chance to talk about the other day. But after we talked about, was it a couple of days ago? What do you spend the money on? My thought was, I don't spend money on anything, which is of course not true.
Yeah, because you live in a
It's like,
home, you
yeah,
have, I see beautiful things around you,
yeah,
and yeah.
yeah. But it was. It comes for me from my upbringing, from my dad never said this as far as I know, but I would go to family reunions. I don't know if you do a lot of like family reunions with your extended family regularly. You'll get together, and also all the uncles and aunts and maybe grandma and grandpa if they're alive, and the brothers and sisters and cousins and all this stuff, and so at our family reunions, which would be a potluck, and we'd all come, and we'd and usually for us we'd have to drive 4 hours to get there, and it would be set up like a Mormon church meeting, right? So everybody would have their chance to speak if they wanted to, and the mantra that came out of everybody's mouth, the first thing, or at some point in their speaking was, we're the Kleins, we're poor in money, but rich in love. And so that was the mantra that I grew up with. It's like somehow love and money are mutually exclusive from each other. And if you don't have a lot of money, then that means you're winning in the love department.
Yes, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hear you, James, because I struggle with the same thing as a Christian, because it's almost like it's bad to want to make money. And
Yes,
the
yeah.
Bible mentions money so many times, but every time we look at it, it's not money itself that is bad. It's the love of, the
The love of money. Yeah.
money. Even money against all, wanting more money than, be ready to do anything for money,
Yeah, okay.
because
Yeah.
the church cannot be against money, because the church needs people to
Look how
have.
much money the church has, right?
No, not that, I have a lot of respect for what the church does. It's more, the church needs our money to be able to reach out more to people.
Yeah.
Nobody's making money, nobody's tithing, nobody is, the church is always asking for money to do things, to reach more people, to feed the poor, to go heal the broken heart, to help prisoners and all of that, as we receive the command, right? But it's like, the problem with money is that we don't have a healthy relationship to it. Either we are afraid to make it, or we make it a god, because
So
it enabled us to buy those things that we think are going to make us happy, make us be at peace, and we all know that money, if money was making people happy, we wouldn't have all of these rich people who would kill themselves, all of these celebrities who commit suicide and things like that. So we know that it's not the money people, it's a feeling that money provides. and
Mm,
how to get the feeling without money. But
mm,
money itself is not the evil. We work in the I had a post that I haven't posted yet that I want to do. It's not, I don't care about your money, I care about you,
mm,
right? I
yeah,
don't care about your money. I want to say it again. I care about you. But we live in a world where everything is monetized. So my
yeah,
services also are monetized. It's
yeah,
just the society we've made. But again, I don't care about your money. I care about you. But some
mm,
people don't care about me. They care about my money. But
yeah, right.
me, I care about people, not about their money. So it's who do
Mm,
you say you are? Who are you?
yeah, yeah. Another thing, well, we don't have time to go into this right now, but the idea that I learned from Brooke is that money is a circumstance.
Yeah, I can see
So,
that.
so money is not, but I still wrestle with it over and over again. It's like
So
it seems
maybe
like an instrument to measure my self worth,
so
right?
as a possibility,
Yeah,
maybe you want to explore it and go deep into it and
yeah,
be even with it once for all, because I assume, and this, I'm allowing myself to not to coach you, but just to let you know, if it's something that has been bothering you, maybe you want to dig deep in it once and for all.
yeah.
As a
As opposed to digging deep into it over and over again and never being done with
what
digging
do you
deep
think?
into it.
What do you
Yeah.
think about what do you think?
Um.
You're
Yeah.
holding on to it. You're holding on to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. It's it merits some more investigation. Right.
Okay, that's good.
All right, but we have to stop here for now if we want to keep it at
We'll see you on
15.
on Monday.
Yeah,
Happy
see you on Monday.
and happy.
Thanks everybody for joining us.